Hello there. I thought I'd make an update video on the WC. No, not like that. No, just just to cover the update from version 1 to version 2, with just highlighting the changes. The first one I'm going to talk about very briefly is on the global page, and you have now two types of glissando. There's the smooth one, which is... or you can have a chromatic glissando. The next biggest change, I guess, is on the graphic EQ. All of these virtual sliders can now be automated from the DAW, so I'll just give you a quick demo of that. I'll play that back. There we go. The main reason I was prompted to create a version 2 was to have more modulation facilities. So we've got this button here which now brings up a complete modulation section together with a matrix for routing the modulations from the various sources to various targets. So I shall be talking about that for a little bit, and if you want any more details, take a look at the included update manual which covers the differences. This selection row of buttons at the top selects between to view 1 to 4 identical LFOs. There are 2 graphic LFOs and 3 graphic envelope generators, and in addition we have an XY joypad and 4 knobs that can be used for macros to control any number of parameters on the synth, and everything you see can be automated from the DAW. In addition to these sources along the top here, we have what you could call internal or auxiliary sources, such as the key number, the frequency, the fundamental frequency, velocity, mod wheel position, pitch bend, and aftertouch. They can also be patched through to whatever target you choose. The targets are selected here, so we've got the 4 wavelet phases, wave on, 2 phase, levels, filter cutoff, filter resonance, the instrument tuning, and this feature here, which is FM between wave and wave 2. So that's not available from the normal front panel. This is an extra added on purely for the modulation. The modulation matrix has 16 rows or slots or whatever you want to call them, and we have the possibility of choosing a source here. Let's say LFO1. Normal polarity is 0 to 1, but we can have plus or minus 1 or 0 to minus 1, and these are added to the source. If you select a second source, we'll say GLFO1, and here we can determine the way source 2 interacts with source 1 so that we can multiply them, which is the most useful method, I think. Add them together or subtract them, and then finally, when we have the mix of source 1 and source 2, if you want to use source 2, we can set the amount of control going to each target. So that gives us a lot of flexibility to combine 2 sources together or just use 1 source to any target. Now, if you want to modulate a knob, let's say wavelet A phase, you'll see these little grey boxes all over the place for various options. If you turn them on, that enables modulation for that knob. If I go to the modulation, I've patched LFO 1 to wavelet A phase, no second source. So, there we go. If I turn that off, then you get the standard wave. And you see this little graphic, it tells you that it's a unipolar modulation. Make it bipolar. There we go. Or unipolar negative. So that's an indication that you've got modulation turned on, and the direction and the amount. You reduce the level. It's a smaller arc that's shown there. So that's how we turn modulation on and off from the main front panel. I've provided 14 presets here, which offer a guide as to some ideas as to how you can use the modulation section. So this one controls the FM between wave 1 and wave 2. This is the sound. So here we have LFO 1, which is sent to the target area FM wave 1 to wave 2. And we have a secondary source, which is the graphic envelope generator 1. And here the sources are multiplied together, the level is set to maximum, to give a controlled LFO envelope. Here we have all 4 LFOs individually modulating the phases of wavelet A to D. Here I've drawn an LFO wave shape, which all the LFOs you can draw your own LFO wave. And the LFOs can be synchronized to the DAW tempo, of course. The graphic LFOs, GLFO 1 and 2, are much more sophisticated in terms of the waveforms that you can create. So here, I'm controlling the pitch of the instrument. And you can alter the length. There are 3 graphic envelope generators which are based on the stock Flowstone one, but I've modified it in various ways to make it a lot more flexible. In this particular instance, it's modulating the filter cutoff and filter resonance, and anything that happens between the sustain start and sustain end will get repeated until you release the notes. The XY controller or joystick can be made to modulate various parameters from the X and Y direction. So here we've got filter cutoff, wavelet A phase, and wave 1 level, one being modulated by the X and 2 of them by the Y factor. And don't forget that this can also be recorded and played back with automation, as it can with all the controls. I'll just play that back. Now, the so-called LFOs, low frequency oscillators, can also go well up into the audio range, and here I've got a cross modulation, so I'm using multiplication between different LFOs to provide 4 ring modulators to control the 4 wavelet levels, so that can give some very rich sounds. This preset makes use of a drawn pulse sort of waveform there, running at audio rates with a delay and a fade in. So some interesting sounds. This one's a little bit more complex, uses to the graphic envelope generators, 3 in fact, and a couple of LFOs multiplied together, and a delay in effect drawn onto one of the envelope generators. So using this method, you can get evolving sounds. Each section of the envelope generator can be up to 10 seconds, so you can use your imagination to think what you might be able to do with that. This one is to inspire you to think about what you can do with just one source on your keyboard, the mod wheel. And this one's just a quick demo to show you can do something very similar with your pitch bend wheel. On this one I've drawn pulses onto the 4 LFOs and also set the phase to random and various repetition rates. Now, none of these modulation presets have any effects added. They're just there to inspire and demonstrate some of what's possible with this. I would thoroughly recommend that you look at the update manual or guide that I made, so you can get the best out of these various modulation sources. And it's up to you really to decide what you want to do with the modulation to make the sort of sound that you've got in mind. So the main thing is to have fun with your WC, and see you again soon. Bye.